I am Daniel Lucas, and welcome to Food 101. Food, people. Let's talk about food. And today, I have my special guest, no other than Mr. Yapa. Mr. Yapa, can you please introduce yourself?
Hey, my name is Yapa. I'm a professional chef. I work as a fine dining cuisine and around the world, and I have around 10 years experience about cuisine, fine dining, and plating, and all around the world. And today I'm going to talk about Sri Lankan cuisine. What is the Sri Lankan cuisine? Sri Lankan cuisine is originally come from the Asian. The Asian is cuisine is most of the herbs, aromatic, and Ayurvedic cuisine. This is Sri Lankan cuisine. Is come with the 80% come with coconut. I would say it's come with a grated coconut milk. So combination of the coconut. That's Sri Lankan cuisine. There's many variety of the Sri Lankan cuisine come with the coconut. It's very famous. It's popular Sri Lankan. I would say it's coconut sambal. Example. This is a very famous. If you go to see the Sri Lanka cuisine, you will get first things the main course with coconut sambal. So it's made with the fresh coconut and grind chili, dry chilies, shallot, kind of herbs, and I would say it's Maldives fish. Is all the combination and give the lime juice, aromatic flavor mixed together is so good. So that's a coconut sambal, and it's compared to the other hand um, to the Indian cuisine. So we don't much use for the Sri Lankan cuisine, like a thousand of varieties, uh, curry powders, and I would say masala. That's a real words. We don't use thousand of masala for the Sri Lankan cuisine. Indian they use thousand of masala cuisine. So all the Indian cuisine. So that's a different Sri Lankan and Indian cuisine. Sri Lankan we don't use thousand of ingredients, say for the curries or like rice, kind of like a pudding. So any kind of things we don't use like many variety of the herbs. We use few ingredients things to make flavor and aromatic and make a healthy food. That's the Sri Lankan cuisine.
Well, very well said, Mr. Yapa. So, do you have a specific dish in Sri Lankan cuisine that you want to share to us?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Uh, I would say Sri Lankan is the many varieties of fish. I would say is we call ambultial. The real name is the fish. The marinate overnight with aromatic herbs and kind of like curry powders, homemade chili powders, and we use for the especially paste that's called goraka. You guys can search in the Google, find out what is a goraka. It's kind of like a sour paste. So we may grind it and make a paste, keep overnight. Then next day we take off from the cooler, the cook with the banana leaves under the clay pot, keep for the slow fire like 35 to 40 minutes. So we keep for the cool down 30 minutes. So it's so good. So that's a very famous Sri Lankan. It's a fish. We go for the ambultial. That's not curry, but it's kind of like a um the dry fish, but this is aromatic flavor. This is so good and good for the healthy. There's no any oil, there's no any uh, artificial ingredients. Everything is come with the herbs. 90% is with the herbs, made with the herbs. So that's we call for the ambultial. And other hand, we have a special vegetarian curry. I would say dal curry. We made with the coconut milk. So first of all, we saute garlic, onion, curry leaves, and mustard seed, cumin seed. Then we add dal for the lentil. Cook for the 10 minutes until get the boil. Then we add the salt. We don't cook over. Just keep for the seed to can see. Then finally add the coconut milk. Taste for the salt. So that's for the vegetarian dish. Fish, vegetarian, and coconut sambal. So these three is a main dishes for the Sri Lankan.
Wow, delicious, Mr. Yapa. So, before we go on, I want to shout out to the people listening in Sri Lanka. People, thank you so much for supporting this podcast in Western Province. I got 100% audience share. So, where is the Western Province in Sri Lanka, Mr. Yapa?
Oh yeah, Western province is I would say the different province like north, the south and north, and they have a different kind of cuisine. But if you go to the south, you will get most of the seafood like lobster, crab, and the different kind of flavor of cuisine. They have especially like a cuisine like I would say our grandmom is cooking like a different way. So the same way if you go to the down south, say uh, you will get like a lot of seafood, a lot of variety of seafood, a lot of variety of prawns. uh, yeah, so that's a different for the Sri Lankan cuisine. Every part has a different kind of flavor of the cuisine, but everything will be similar. But the cooking is technique, presentation, and aromatic, and the delicious food you guys can find like different kind of cities. So that's the Sri Lankan cuisine.
So, what are the spices usually does use in Sri
Uh,
Lankan cuisine?
yes, the main thing is we use for the cinnamon. In Sri Lankan is most of the famous is cinnamon stick. We have a homemade chili powder we use for the coriander and dry chili and curry leaves, cumin, um, this kind of things. We grind it, make a paste like a powder. So that's the base of the curry powder. So we don't use anything else, but that's our homemade the pus, the curry powder, and we add for the more get flavor, curry leaves and ginger garlic and onion. When we make a curry, we make a base of the paste and we add the chili powder. We made the homemade one. So that's aromatic. That's a secret recipe for the our grandmom.
Well, very well said, Mr. Yapa. But before we go on, because we talk about India, I want to shout out to the people listening in India. Thank you so much. India Namaste. In Maharashtra, I got 31%. National Capital Territory of Delhi, 12%. Karnataka at 11%. Telangana at 7%. Chhattisgarh at 7%. Uttar Pradesh at 4%. Andhra Pradesh at 4%, West Bengal at 4%, Gujarat at 3%, Rajasthan at Punjab at 2%, Tamil Nadu at 1%, Daman and Diu at 1%, Madhya Pradesh, Kerala, Haryana, Jharkhand, Bihar, Nagaland, and Himachal Pradesh, and last but not the least, Union Territory of Puducherry. Thank you, India, for supporting this podcast because this podcast is empowered food, people. Inviting you to listen to my other podcast, Book 101 Review with Chris Tetrablay award-winning author and the author of the Apocalypse Trilogy. And please do listen to our latest episode. We talk about one of the featured historical author in UK, or United Kingdom. So please do listen. Book 101 review. So, Mr. Yapa, what is the best highlight of Sri Lankan cuisine?
Uh, the best Sri Lankan cuisine in Sri Lanka, I would say we have many varieties. Like if someone is vegetarian, we have many variety of vegetarian, thousand of vegetarian dishes. If you are a non-vegetarian, we have a thousand of things, um, non-vegetarian. So you guys can choose whatever you like.
Definitely. Is Sri Lankan cuisine is multicultural?
Yes, it's multicultural. Yes.
Definitely, people. It caters whoever you are. You are vegetarian, you're pescatarian, or diet. What you're having a diabetes or
Di-
whatever you had. They
yes,
can they can cater you whatever you are. So please, Mr. Yapa, can you please invite them to try your cuisine?
yes, sure. You guys can go to the YouTube and find out what is a Sri Lankan cuisine. So you guys can find out like thousand of things Sri Lankan cuisine they made. So that's the way. That's the easier ways to find the Sri Lankan cuisine.
Yes, indeed. And thank you, Listen Notes, for giving my 41 listen score and 1.5% popular show globally. So, Mr. Yapa, thank you for your time.
Nice. Have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Yapa. Modicon people, see you soon.